Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for GWBC Radio's Open for Business. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of GWBC Open for Business, and this is going to be a good one. Today we have with us Einat Mazor with Better Foods Jeyer. How do you pronounce the last word, Jeyer?
Jeyer.
So tell us about Better Foods. How you serving folks?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to talk with you a little bit about our company. The company's name is Extra White Gold, and it's a gluten-free company and gluten-free and keto flours and mixes company. And the main point of our business is to have some kind of freedom in our foods, meaning that everybody that has allergies, food allergies, such as peanuts and nuts and eggs and dairy, including gluten, can enjoy our flours and mixes. Because we are free from dairy and eggs and gluten and so forth.
So how'd you get into this line of work?
Oh, well, that's my story. That's a big story. Well, being a mother and health supportive chef, I was always in the kitchen, cooking and baking for my family and friends. And then when my daughter was 6 years old, we discovered that she has celiac. And celiac is basically an inflammatory disease which affects the digestive system. So you can't have gluten in your, everyday meals. You can't have gluten in your dairy. So we've been in shock for a couple of, weeks because, from a family that used to love being in the kitchen, we started to think about food, in a different way. So we needed to be more cautious about our foods, reading labels, even, the spontaneous of going out for dinner or to just have an ice cream outside was a task. So I just started to experimenting with flours, experimenting with ingredients. In my background, I also have chemistry knowledge. So it's been a while. It's been several years. And then after many years of experimenting in the lab and even in my kitchen, I came up and invented these flours and mixes. And it's totally changed our life, as a family, but also as a community. From people that used to be, that couldn't have almost, needed to think about foods and about how to eat it, why cannot eat it. That was a big thing for us. So it's completely changed the gluten-free world and culinary world from our perspective.
Now, when you were experimenting with the different ingredients, did it take a long time to land on where you landed? Because I would imagine to get that right balance of not only flavor, what your expectation is, as a chef, you're probably pretty particular about how good it tastes and not just create something that has the right ingredients, but it also has to taste good. And it also has to, like you mentioned, chemistry. If you're doing baking, there's a certain chemistry that there's an expectation of it rising and performing in a certain way in order to create the right texture. So there's a lot of variables in this. And to, you're basically leaving wheat behind, right? So you're going and finding other grains, I guess, that are celiac friendly or different ingredients that are celiac friendly.
Yeah, so it is a big task, and when I started it, I didn't know that it's going to be such an adventurous journey, because you do need to know your craft, and you need to know how even flours, gluten-free flours, are playing with each other, are talking with each other, because each and every component has its own uniqueness. So you have to know how to combine it. And what you said is really important, because it needs to taste good, and it also needs to be as close as possible to the real thing. So for us, it's I think we succeeded, because we've been around for almost 13 years in the business. We're not new in the business. My flours and mixes are number one in sales in Israel for the past 10 years. And we launched about 3 years ago here in the States. It's a local, we are locals. We live in Georgia, of course. But we know that people like our products, because the main issue is the flavor, the texture. Everything needs to be right, and that's what we aiming for the best quality and best ingredients.
Now, when you set out to do this, did you expect kind of the gluten-free community to expand as much as it has? Like in Israel, you mentioned this has been around for a while, but in the United States, this is, I don't want to say relatively new, but it's kind of new in that there's more and more options for people who want gluten-free.
Right. Well, I didn't expect it that it would be such a huge trend. It started as a trend, but now I can tell you that it's a lifestyle of many people. I mean, people are more and more to discover how beneficial is the gluten-free diet for everybody. Because the benefits of the diet is not only with the weight loss, it's also increasing energy and clear, it's kind of like clear your mind. If I can say that, it gives you more more perspective, more clear thoughts, and also I think it's much more clean food than to eat all day, because the gluten, the way that it reacts with our body is a glue. So it's kind of like a glue. It's stuck in your system and it doesn't go anywhere, and it just give you blurry and you feel bloated all the time. And I believe that the market is going towards that.
So now you have you create this flour, the extra white gold flour that's gluten free.
Yes.
And then was that kind of like that was the goal, and now it's expanded into this whole line of you have mixes, you have you can make pancakes, brownies, like you can make anything really, I guess, that flour touches, you can now make with your flour, and now you've expanded the line into prepared mixes that are, I guess, the same kind of gluten-free. And is it vegan as well?
Yeah, not the keto, but the gluten-free items are vegan as well.
Wow, so you're checking all the boxes for the folks out there that have this lifestyle, and I'll tell you, because I have relatives that are gluten-free and vegan, and some of their stuff doesn't taste good. And they say it tastes good for gluten-free, but it doesn't taste good. But I think that you've been able to kind of thread the needle and make something gluten-free that also tastes good.
Right. Yeah. With the vegan lifestyle is really is really demanding because there are alternatives, but not that great. I mean, they are good, but you can find good stuff that are vegan and not that great vegan products. And I was vegan. I was vegan for many years, and I came from that approach because I wanted people to enjoy our mixes as much as possible and to give a solution to almost everybody. And I believe that this is our mission, to find a solution to almost everybody. So everybody can sit at the same table, having the same food. Like my daughter, I remember when I started, my daughter used to have her own cake, her own pizza, her own muffin. I used to schlep around with all her food everywhere. But now when you have something that everybody can eat and it tastes good, so why not? So you'll have gluten-free and vegan cake and a pizza, and everybody can share it and everybody can enjoy it. So that's my mission.
Right. And then if you do it well, and which now you're finding more and more people are kind of cracking the code on how to make it taste delicious, that you don't even have to tell people it's gluten-free and vegan. It just tastes good. People don't even know that it's not relevant. It's important for the folks that have allergies, but for the people who don't, you don't have to identify, oh, that's gluten-free or, oh, that's a vegan, because it's just delicious. I mean, I think that it's evolving so rapidly, and it seems like you're really on the cutting edge of this when it comes to the baking products.
Right. But you also, that's what I'm always saying to my clients, you need to read labels, because not everything that's gluten-free is also good for you.
Right. You can't confuse those two things because there's
right.
There's plenty of
there
things.
There are many processed foods.
Right. That are processed and they're not healthy, but they're gluten-free. I mean, so you can't confuse those. Those two terms aren't synonyms. Those are specific things. One just doesn't have gluten.
Exactly.
Now, for you and your mission, where is this available for folks? Is it available only online, or can they get it at certain stores?
Well, we are in Walmart with one product, our all-purpose flour, which is also a cup-to-cup flour, and sugar-free flour is in Walmart. But not in Georgia, unfortunately. Not now, hopefully next year. And we also in Food Lion, Georgia. So you can definitely check our products in the Food Lion gluten-free section and online. I mean, we're selling very nicely online. Listen, this was the year of the online the online merchandise.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you do the manufacturing? Where is it being made?
Oh, it's been made in New York. We have a facility there, but our headquarters in Georgia. And
then you're able to distribute it from there to wherever it needs to go? Yeah. Now, you mentioned COVID. I would imagine because everybody, when they're locked down at home, they're doing a lot more baking, and they were probably searching for this kind of solution. So this probably was good for you in some ways.
Yes, of course. I mean, the COVID situation impacted, everybody. So we needed to work harder to keep our head above the water. That's the truth. And what we've done is we applied for grants and we took some loans just to be present, to keep on going. So, but despite of the financial challenges, we feel very optimistic about the future. And we managed to keep up with the growing demands for our gluten-free and keto products.
Yeah, I think that you're right. I think if you can hang in there, the sky's the limit, because I think that people who are part of that community are literally hungry for a great tasting solution, because there's not as many choices for them. And if you have a way to make it delicious and gluten-free and vegan and all, and keto when they want to be keto, like you, I think you're right there. I mean, congratulations. To do this is very difficult. You should be very proud of yourself. This is a very difficult task to do.
Yeah.
And I want people to understand that the level of experimentation in order to pull this off is quite difficult.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling my kids. You need to be persistent. You need to have a mission. You need to have something that will keep you, will keep you going forward. Even like the smallest thing, it doesn't have to be huge, but you have to have some kind of a mission, because if you are in the food business and you are a small business, especially women-owned business, you have to believe that you can do it. You have to believe. You have to keep on going. And I know it's kind of like a cliche, but you just need to have this persistence, incentive yourself. Nobody is coming and pat me on my shoulder. Nobody. This is me. Like what I'm doing, what I'm investing, that the result will be in the future. But you have to believe. You have to believe in your organization. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your product. Because if you don't manufacture products that you yourself as an owner believe in, just don't do it.
That's great advice. And it's important to be clear on your why. You have to have a why that's big enough for everybody to believe in and get behind. Not only you as the founder and the creator, but also your team, your vendors, your customers. The bigger the why, the easier it is for everybody to get behind the mission to help kind of get the word out. And they want to be the ones that are sharing this great thing with their folks and serving their community by letting people know that something like this exists.
Absolutely. And another tip that I have is, because I did mention it, to have a mission. So sometimes it's really helpful, especially these days, to cooperate and to join force with organization that you can that you believe in. For instance, we support an organization, a women's organization, and the name it's Wellpaper, and it's International Women for Women organization, which empowers unprivileged women through art, through ecological awareness, and they make art without any waste. It's something very interesting what they're doing over there. And I think that once you have, as a company, once you support organization like that, a nonprofit organization, and you believe in their actions, it gives you energy, it gives you movement, it gives you something to look forward to. And this is also very important.
And I believe that what you're doing as a chef is an art form. I mean, I think that your work, you're creating something from nothing. So to me, that is an artist.
Okay, thank you.
Now, talk about the GWBC. Has that organization helped you as a certified women business, helped you through this crisis, maybe COVID, or just helped you in supporting you in your mission?
Well, I think that the notion to belong to a community and to be able to share your thoughts, even if it's through the social media, through Facebook, for instance. I read the posts almost every day, and to be out there and to join as much as you can for events or to be active. This is the time to be active, although it's really hard. It's like to walk in water, although it's really hard. You have to keep on going. It helps us as a community and as a company tremendously to have the back of the organization, of course.
Now, what's next for you? How are you optimistic about the coming year? Are you excited?
I'm always optimistic and I'm always excited. Yeah, we have some things that we would like to evolve into, and we're still working on it. Ooh. Very exciting.
Well, it's an exciting time, and again, congratulations on all your success. It's important
Thank
work,
you.
And we appreciate you. And how about the website for folks that want to get a hold of some of your stuff? What's the website?
It's www.extrawhitegold.com.
Well, good stuff. Thank you again for sharing your story today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Happy holidays.
Yes, you too. All right, this is Lee Cantor. We will see you all next time on GWBC Open for Business.